You know what's really funny? Dinosaurs in space. That's what Carnivores is really about. Dinosaurs get found on an alien planet, so a giant corporation decides to sell the rights to hunt them. Get this, their name is Dino Hunt Corps. Go figure, right? That was the first two games were all about. Hunt or be hunted by these prehistoric beasts. That was not how it was introduced to the series, though. Over 20 years ago, I was at a friend's house. I saw them playing some cool sci-fi game. That's when the attack happened. Small dinosaurs rushed out from the foliage to strike. I immediately asked him to play. My friend showed me that he had Carnivores 2 as well. I played that one about 10 minutes later. I love dinosaurs and I love outer space's sci-fi adventures. Combining the two was such a novel concept to me at the time. Dinosaurs are usually reserved for prehistoric jungle settings or sometimes placed in modern urban environments. Putting them in a future setting isn't done as often as you would think. Years passed and I had gotten a chance to get the game in high school, but I heard the reviews were really bad, so I passed on it in favor of only getting Carnivores 2. Several years ago, I changed my mind. Even with barely playing the first two levels, it made such an impression on me that I still remembered it for many years. What I disliked about it as a kid was the lack of stock dinosaurs. There was no T-Rex or Velociraptors, even though you see raptors on the disc and box art, and now I know this was the strength of the game to use non-conventional dinosaurs. Let's dive in. I'm going to do something a little different though. I'm going to talk about playing as the dinosaurs first. That's right, you can play as the dinosaurs in this game. There's 20 levels for both human and dinos, but I won't bore you with the agonizing details in each. The first dinosaur you get to play as is Coelophysis. It fills the niche of what Procopithecus would in these types of games, being a small predator that nips at your heels. Luckily for Coelophysis, it's much bigger in size than a Compy. That's good because it's more believable for this thing to take down an armed agent. You don't have a ranged option, so clawing at enemies will be your only means of offense. You got shot, oh no! How will you ever get health back? By eating the dead body of your slain foe, of course. Cool. But what other neat tricks can you do as a dino? There's this interesting predator vision that highlights enemies in the environment. Coelophysis also has a dash attack that does more damage. If you're not autistic for dinosaurs, then you probably won't get much enjoyment from playing as the dinosaurs. The next dinosaur you get to play as is one that's hotly debated, the Nanotyrannus. Here's a size chart for how big it is in the game compared to a regular T-Rex. As far as I know, many paleontologists think that Nanotyrannus is a juvenile version of the more famous T-Rex. If it's true, then it's the only stock dinosaur in the game. The Nanotyrannus is a mean fighting machine that will devour any human dumb enough to get in its sights. Like I mentioned before, the game went a different route than the usual suspects for its dino lineup. The Nanotyrannus fills the role of the larger Jurassic Park raptors. This dino isn't the only one that covers the raptor role. The next playable dinosaur is an actual raptor, but not a dromaeosaur, the Oviraptor. I knew about this guy since Disney's 2000 Dinosaur. Before dinosaurs being birds is mainstream in the public zeitgeist, this fellow was the poster child for Dino Bird in my mind. As the Oviraptor, you're not very big, but that doesn't mean you can't handle business. Even though the graphics are limited, it's coolly added feathers to the Oviraptor. Velociraptor gets all the attention, but the Oviraptor got some time to shine here. The next new dinosaur to play as is the Suchomimus. Yes, it is a relative of the infamous Spinosaurus, same family. Suchomimus is pretty big, but the game gives you control of a juvenile that's angry and horny. I'm not kidding, that was in the level description. It's funny that Suki here looks like a bipedal gator, and it's sewer level. That had to be an inside joke. Because it's a juvenile, it's only marginally taller than the agents you've been fighting. Speaking of the agents, don't underestimate them. They have guns, and that will kill you fast if you're careless.
So much for our first tour.
The level after you play as a Nano Tyrannus again, but not much to talk about here. Oh, you do get to fight against some Oviraptors, so that's a cool detail. In case you thought the dinosaurs were all on the same team, no, they're still animals with instincts. Anyways, the level after that one is where things get spicier. You gain control of an adult Suchomimus. Yep, you're finally a much larger dinosaur. Feel the power in your steps as you take down the agents in your warpath. Don't get cocky though, the agents aren't just armed with basic weapons. Some have high explosive weapons that will kill you fast. I'll go over those weapons when I cover the human side of the single player. You play through a bunch of more futuristic urban environments as the different dinosaurs I mentioned already. I know what you're waiting for because yes, playing a very large carnivore is reserved for the last level. Instead of playing a large T-Rex, you get to take control of a Giganotosaurus. I knew very little about this dinosaur as a kid, but now it's more well known as it rivaled T-Rex in size. Plus, it has 3 fingers on its hands. Even with all that size and power, don't underestimate the soldiers. Oh look, I died! I'm sure you could kill all the agents, but that's not how you win. The final mission is actually really easy. Just destroy the central canister, then boom, game ended. At least for the dinosaur campaign anyways. Cool, dinosaurs ate everyone and took over the planet. Playing as the dinosaurs is cool, but how exactly does humanity deal with escaped dinosaurs on a colony world? With special agents and snazzy suits of armor. In the other campaign, they were regular enemies, but here, you play as one of them. Their armor makes me think of a human wearing a predator suit. It's vaguely organic in a way. Cool. Just like the dinosaur levels, it's a bunch of missions stitched together with objectives. Except that it's a bit more coherent here. Let's talk about weapons, because the weapon loadout stood out to me as a small kid. I know it's nothing crazy by Turok or Halo standards, but I still remembered the guns for many years. You start off with a pistol that has unlimited ammo, but also have the choice of 2 primary guns. The selection is pretty basic: rifle, sniper rifle, grenade launcher, shotgun, then X-rifle. Even 20 years ago, I never forgot about this gun. You'll see what I mean in a moment. The action doesn't start immediately. You leave the area your ship landed to scale down a mountain. I know it's nothing crazy, but it's peaceful. You also get 2 vision modes, thermal and night vision. Thermal runs on a battery that can recharge. The first set of dinosaurs you fight are Coelophysis. Super easy to take down if you're not careless. I like how they designed it to have feathers on its head, back and tail. Pretty unique depiction for early 2000s dinosaurs. Something that I take points off in the game for me is that the sound design is mono. If a dinosaur runs at you making noise, you can't tell what direction it's coming from. Who has time for that? What I do have time for is trying out the X-Rifle. It's an energy weapon that has splash damage. Yes, that includes hurting you if you shoot it at your feet. I like the sound design. It's so crisp. Anytime I would think of this particular title, the X-Rifle would always be on my mind. You don't reload, but I'm assuming that you're only given 1 magazine. Finding ammo and health pickups is essential to staying alive. Those ankle biters don't do much damage, but getting swarmed is never good. In case you did run out of ammo, the pistol has unlimited ammo. That's good, but what's bad is it takes 12 shots to down a single Coelophysis. That's an odd choice to say the least. The blasted thing isn't even that big to require 12 shots to kill. The first level was a breeze through the forest to reach the crashed ship the dinosaurs came from. That's not really much different of an environment from most dino games. The second level is where this changes. You find the ship and have to go inside. Dinosaurs on a spaceship? I forgot to mention when you die you have to restart a level. It's annoying, but if saving anywhere was an option, this game would be much shorter. Going inside the ship, I chose to have a shotgun alongside my rifle. It's an interesting design to say the least. Look at it. It's got a drum mag, but it's still a pump action. Not that you'll see the pump get used. It's a bit unwieldy to use against the Coelophysis inside of the ship. They move so fast you will miss half your shots if you don't lead them. You would think a single blast from a shotgun would wreck these small dudes, but I guess not. After rescuing the civilians, you go further into the ship. The shotgun may not have taken out the Coelophysis fast, but it takes down the Oviraptors pretty quick. I guess bigger targets are easier to hit. Speaking of big targets, the introduction of Nanotyrannus is pretty well done. You fight hordes of Coelophysis en route to the city, only to run into the big guy barreling out from the shadows. He didn't count on my X-Rifle to do so much damage. I love this gun. Like I mentioned in the dinosaur side of the game, don't underestimate your opponents. Making it to the city, the Nanotyrannus is a regular enemy from now on. The Oviraptors are puppies compared to this predator. I even got clever girled by one of these. Granted, I'm pretty sure my X-Rifle killed me, but still. I tried again with the grenade launcher, but honestly that thing's too unwieldy for this game. The same Nanotyrannus launched me to my death. I think I'll stick to the X-Rifle for explosive damage instead of the grenade launcher, honestly. It's more reliable. You know, whoever designed the city hall must have been very huge dinosaur fans. I mean, just look at this architecture. These are my kinds of people. Fighting the carnivores indoors does not clash at all with this aesthetic. You fight dinosaurs across the various parts of the city while completing different kinds of objectives. Same place as the Dino campaign. Yes, the sewers still have the Suchomimus. It's still funny that the gator dinosaur is roaming the sewers. While in the sewers, I tried out the sniper rifle. I know, weirdest place to try out the sniper rifle is being underground. I kind of expected more out of this gun. It takes 3 shots to down a Nanorex. That's not really ideal for how fast these guys run at you. I know it'll take more shots to down larger dinos. Moving on, a really cool moment for me is the battle on the subway train. You got help from an engineer to restart the subway, but he disappears from the plot. During the ride, dinos ambush you while the lighting changes as the subway is traveling. Your thermals and NVGs make this point nebulous, of course. It's the thought that counts, at least. Getting back to the city street with rampaging carnivores, you finally get to fight a big boss Giganotosaurus. As seen in this video, it ran after I dumped 3 rounds into it with the sniper rifle. Surprised it ran at all. I'm feeling a little blue-balled here, but I'm not risking my neck chasing after it. All good though, because the next level starts with the Gigo going after me. X-Rifle time! 5 shots and he's down. Don't believe it? Here's another one that bites the dust. The last level is literally the opposite of the Giganotosaurus level. Instead of destroying the canister of chemicals, you have to protect them. Killing all the dinos, then boom, you win. Final artwork is pretty cool. The agent unmasks, posing next to a Gigo he just killed, while his mission control says the cold ones are on him. What an interesting game. It's nothing amazing and rather generic, but I'm so starved for dinosaur games with space elements that I still liked it. Playing as different dinosaurs was a cool feature. The X-Rifle's nothing that amazing, but I still really love it as a sci-fi weapon. There is a multiplayer component, but GameSpy Arcade was shut down 11 years ago, so I can't play that. Google says it had co-op for 16 players. That would have been a lot of fun. Is this game worth your time? If you're a casual dinosaur fan, then no. If you're obsessed with dinosaurs, especially the obscure variety, then yes. How many dinosaur games have creatures like Coelophysis, Oviraptor, even Suchomimus as enemies? Tyrannosaurus Rex and Velociraptor usually get all the attention in dinosaur stories. I mean, who can blame them? They are so cool. Still, I appreciate the use of non-stock dinosaurs. The next 2 dinosaur games I'll be covering are classics. Republic Trooper 125 out.